Hello, my wonderful people. I'm Alicia Silverstone. I'm a private chef here in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. This morning, we're going to be making some delicious, fresh, savory whole grain biscuits that I promise will fill your home with the amazing smells of fresh herbs and whole grains and are much healthier for you than any kind of pop can you can get out of the fridge and take just as much time. Okay, so for our savory fresh herb biscuits, what we need is 2 cups of whole wheat flour. We need a half a cup of safflower oil, a whole cup of alternative milk. We need a half a teaspoon of sea salt, a full tablespoon of baking powder, and some fresh herbs. I've got probably about a teaspoon or so of oregano, dried oregano, and I've got a bunch of fresh thyme here that we're going to chop up and put in there as well. Okay, so of course we need a great big mixing bowl. We need a rolling pin. We need a homemade biscuit cutter. We're going to need a knife to chop the herbs, a fork and a mixing spoon to mix the dough, and of course a baking pan. The first thing we want to do is preheat our oven to 450. So you want to chop your fresh herbs next. Now today we're using a combination of fresh thyme and dried oregano, and you really can use any combination that you really like. I like using a lot of big flavors, so a lot of basil, oregano, thyme, rosemary are my favorites. Mix the dry ingredients together and then slowly pour in the oil. The mixture will be somewhat crumbly, and then start adding your alternative milk a little bit at a time until the mixture starts coming together. So in terms of the consistency of the dough, what you want to do is get it to the point that it's able to pull away from the sides of the bowl. Now we ended up only using about a half a cup of that milk to get it to that point. Gather your dough up into a nice tight little ball and then place it on a lightly floured surface and begin to knead it about 25 times. Be sure to flour your rolling pin and then roll it out to about a ½ inch thickness. Take your biscuit cutter or homemade biscuit cutter that we have here today. Make sure it's well floured so it doesn't stick to the dough, and begin cutting away. Place the biscuits on an ungreased cookie sheet. Now, the closer that they are to each other, the softer they're going to be. The farther apart they are, the crisper they're going to be. Now, I taste everything that I eat, so I did taste a little bit of the dough, and I tasted a ton of the fresh herbs, all of the whole grains, and a little bit of the touch of the salt. I think these are going to be delicious, so let's get them in the oven. Place the biscuits on the center rack of your oven and bake them for about 10 to 12 minutes. All right, I'm smelling the fresh herbs, I'm smelling the biscuits. It's time to take them out of the oven. Biscuits are my favorite when they're fresh and hot out of the oven. Topping them with a little bit of your favorite plant-based spread, a little bit of fresh jam, a little olive oil, whatever you like.